Hey guys, before watching this, I just want to let you know that I'm aware that I trip over my words, I pause at weird times, and that sometimes I stutter and don't know what I'm going to say next. So that's just because I film at 5 minutes at a time, and I don't want to ruin the integrity of the actual message that I'm giving just because I had a flaw in my speaking. So thanks, guys, for watching. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about how COVID 19 affected my senior year of college and also how my social action project has evolved from a project that I could do easily face to face to something that I really had to think about and dig deep down into myself to determine what needed to be done during this time. I am a social work major at Seton Hill University, and I am also the president of our social work club called Project Hope. So, as you would imagine, my senior year was really busy. We had about 2 service projects that we planned for our club. We had a movie night planned, we had a senior retreat planned, and I also have to do a social action project for my senior seminar class. So a lot of things got put on pause when COVID 19 started. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen when my school announced that all the classes were going from in person to online, and I don't think that the teachers were really prepared for this either because they had to make half a semester of in class work online. The first few weeks were a little difficult for me because I am very used to being social. I'm very used to talking to people, to interacting, doing group projects, talking to my classmates and my professors every week. And I really sort of leaned on that for the last 3 years because my high school experience wasn't exactly like that. I never really got involved, so when I started getting involved in college, I became kind of addicted to it because it was just such a awesome experience to be able to run a club and to do service projects with people that you're really good friends with and make a difference in the community while also having fun. So that was kind of a bummer on, I guess, everyone's end. The first 2 weeks I was really depressed. I wasn't really sure what to do with myself. I knew I had to do schoolwork, but every ounce of my being told me that I really didn't want to do schoolwork at all and that I should just lay in bed and sleep. And I am still employed, luckily. I work at a residential facility for juvenile delinquents, so they obviously can't leave, and we obviously can't just leave them there by themselves. So I fortunately still am employed, and I'm actually working full time now since school has ended in class meetings. So that is at least one good thing that has come from this COVID 19 pandemic. But after a few weeks, I got used to the norm of being at home every day. I'm still bored out of my mind, but I have realized that I really need to focus on all the schoolwork that I have neglected and the things that need done for the end of the semester. And I'm just trying to really finish strong for the sake of graduating and also doing good in my classes. So now I'm going to talk about the social action project that I had to do for my senior seminar class. The first step of my social action project was to figure out what I was going to do for my social action project. It took me about 3 days to fully figure out my plan and what I was going to do because I could not imagine planning anything without my social work club. And doing it by myself was kind of intimidating. So I decided that I was going to collect hygiene products for an organization that I have right down the street from me. And in the winter, they collect hats, gloves, and scarves, and they pass it out to the homeless population to use for free. So if someone didn't have a hat or glove or scarves, we would put out packages of these objects, and we would tie them to trees, benches, and there would be a little note in it saying, if you need this during this winter season, please take it, no questions asked. So I thought that was a really good idea, but it's spring. So I decided to collect hygiene products. So shampoo, conditioner, soap, lotion, deodorant, toothpaste. I had one friend donate some razors so the homeless population could shave if they needed to. The purpose of this was just to give them things that no one really thinks to give the homeless population. No one really looks at them and go, oh, they're people too. And that is what I really wanted to convey with this project. So I had one friend who's a couponer. She donated a bunch of products, and currently they're sitting in my car trunk, my trunk, if you will, and she had a big supply, so it was nice that she was able to donate just half of her stock to me for this cause. I also had a friend donate makeup bags that she gets from a subscription box every month, and she had at least 11 or 12 in there, and we were going to use them to put some of the smaller hygiene products in so it would be easily transportable for the population targeted. Also, I had one friend who I met a few months ago just donate a little goodie bag full of toothpaste and soap and stuff, and I was very moved by the generosity of my friends. I wish I would have had the time to put out collection boxes at my college, but by the time I even had the resources and time to put them out, in-person classes had been suspended. So I also had one classmate who I'd never talked to before ask when I was collecting my donations and when the last day was, because he was going to donate some, which was very nice and I'm very appreciative. But unfortunately, he never got the chance to donate anything because school abruptly ended. My plan was I was going to go to a Thursday night dinner that this organization hosts, and I was going to have a table with all of the products laid out with a note saying, hey, if you need this, you can take it. They're free. Just take whatever you need, and once again, no questions asked. And I was going to help pass out food. I was going to talk to all of the people there and just gain some insight to the world of the homeless population around me. I also asked some of my classmates if they would like to join to volunteer, and I was very excited. I was getting very excited about it, and I planned to go March 26th. But a week before that, I emailed my contact for that organization, and she informed me that they were no longer doing dinners because of COVID, because the event was over 10 people, and the CDC recommends under 10 people to be at a gathering, if there's any gathering, if the gathering is necessary. So I had to email my teacher and ask her, what now? What am I going to do now that I can't donate these goods? Because they also weren't taking any donations at the time. So now I have a trunk full of hygiene products, and I still plan on donating them when the services that they offer open back up. I still plan on going and volunteering and giving. Obviously could not complete my original plan for my social action project, so I had to formulate a new one. And that took a while because it was really difficult to figure out what I could do within the recommendations of the CDC, but also interact with people in a positive way that could help them. So what I decided to do was I started to call my Nana more. I started to call my dad more. And I just started to check in on those who I think may be needing the most help and see if there's anything that I could do personally for them. I have also been communicating more when I go out. I wear a mask and I wear gloves when I go out to shop when it's absolutely necessary. But I also have been just asking the cashiers how they're doing and giving them an outlet to express their feelings and just to open up a little bit about what is happening in the world and how it is impacting them. People have been laid off, so I've been trying to point them in the direction of the proper services that they could get. My one friend got laid off because he works in a restaurant, and it's a big restaurant, so they don't usually have takeout services around this time. So I have been encouraging him to file for unemployment. I've just been trying to give people updated information that I fact check to see if it will help them in any way, shape, or form to get through these hard times. I realized that my plan that I revised isn't as in-depth as the plan that I wanted to go with, but because I work in a residential facility, I have to basically go to work and go home in order to prevent getting COVID-19, because we have to go in lockdown if I do. So, encouraging people to talk about their experiences and to talk with people just about what they're going through and if they need help is just one of the ways that I can use my skills that I've learned in the social work program at Seton Hill to help those in need. My requirement for this project is I have to relate it to the Catholic social teachings that I learned during my 2 years at Seton Hill. And a few of those Catholic social teachings that I can relate my new project to is the rights and responsibilities part of it, call to family, community, and participation, solidarity, and also care for God's creation. So a way that the rights and responsibilities section of the Catholic social teaching can relate to my project is that part of it, and I'm reading directly from the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops website. So it says every person has a fundamental right to life and right to those things required for human decency, and isn't talking to people and to making sure that they are okay and making sure that they have everything that they need basic human decency. I believe it is, and I really think that especially now during these times that we really need to step back and think not of ourselves but of other people. I mean, of course we want to think about our own health and our own safety right now, but I really think that we should become more aware as a society of what is happening around us and how it is affecting the populations that usually don't get services to begin with. Second Catholic social teaching that I can connect to my project is the call to family, community, and participation. And now more than ever, we need communities to come together and to help those in need. I know that we can't really be within 6 feet of each other right now, and it's really hard to help everybody when you also have to stay home. But I have seen people drop care packages to their grandparents or their elderly neighbors on their porch so they don't have to touch. I've just seen very creative ways of people helping in their community because they care and they want to make sure that everybody has what they need. And I've even seen people offering people who are not necessarily in their community help because they have extra product. They've been posting it on Facebook saying, hey, if you guys need anything, just let me know and I will get it for you. And I really think that that is something that we should take away from this experience and apply it to when things go back to normal. I would just now like to connect my project to solidarity and care for God's creation, because solidarity says we are one human family, whatever our national, racial, ethnic, economic, and ideological differences are. So right now the whole world is by COVID-19, and we are all just trying to figure out how to deal with it in a way that does not completely destroy the entire population. While it isn't lethal to most people, the older population is especially susceptible to it. And I think that we want to, as a world, come up with a vaccine as quickly as possible. This will bring solidarity to the world because we're all going to be working together to try to come up with a solution for the problem that we are facing. In addition to that, the care for God's creation aspect of this, it's usually recognized as the earth is God's creation. And right now, because there are less people traveling, less people going out, there has been an opportunity for the earth to heal. And I have seen a few articles on the fact that more animals are coming out. The earth is already starting to heal. Not saying that I think we needed this pandemic to heal the earth, but I'm not saying that it's not helping. I really also think that when we think of God's creation, we don't usually think of the people of the earth. And whether or not you want to believe that, we are God's creation. We are what He created to live on His earth. And I think that if we don't show some type of kindness towards each other, some type of lending hand, then we're not really going to come out of this pandemic as better people. Just as some closing opinions and statements, I really wish that I could have successfully completed my original plan for my social action project. I really wanted to interact with the homeless population. The project that we do in November is great, but we don't really interact with anybody. We just sort of leave bags around. The occasional person will come up and thank you for what you were doing, but it is nothing like I was going to do. I wanted to pass out food. I wanted to talk to the people, but unfortunately that could not happen. But now that I have changed my project, I really think that it gave me the time to sit down with myself and reflect on what I have learned from my social work studies. And that is really how I came up with the project. I thought about what I could do as part of the helping profession, and it really dawned on me that people just want to talk. People just want to have contact with other human beings, and they want to talk about their situation and what is happening with them, and specifically how they're handling this pandemic and crisis. So I really think that I have learned a lot about being a better person during this project. Because I don't really go out much, I don't really have that much contact with human beings, but I'm trying my best to reach out on social media. I'm trying to find ways for people to pass the time. I am suggesting crafts, reading, writing, stuff like that. So I really think that this has humbled me. It made me a better human being. I really realized that it's not always about me, and during this pandemic, all I've sort of been thinking about is myself and how I'm going to get through that, but I think we all need to step back and take a second to think about how other people are going to get through this, and if they're okay, because some people don't think about the mental health of the greater population. I could have articulated my thoughts better, my words better, but in the end, this is the genuine, real me, and I really thank you guys for sticking around. I know this is about 16 minutes long, but it's very important to me, and I really just wanted to try to get as much information from this video as possible. So thank you for sticking around.